Hello little monsters. Today I would like to bring to attention a really scary genre of ads that I've seen recently.
I think I just kissed my stepbrother.
She did what now? I just got over another Sydney sickness. I don't know why I catch colds like every single day, but I got another one and I've been spending the last week in my bed watching a whole lot of Love Island and an ass load of TikToks. But now that everything on TikTok is 89% ads now, I have been force fed a lot, and I mean a lot, of horny book talk short stories in the form of vertical ads. And since I've seen so many different storylines, I picked out two of my favorite. And favorite is a term I use loosely because some of them were just downright unwatchable.
These are the 5 sheeples.
But since these ads are only 23 minutes long, they can only fit so much story into one ad. So every ad has little bits and pieces of the storyline. And I thought that it would be interesting if we could flesh out one storyline for each series with just the ads. And since they're shown completely out of order, we're gonna need help from a special friend of mine. Sydney with the whiteboard, please take it away. We're gonna start off with Dirty Secret. The official title is My Stepbrother's Dirty Secret, but unless you read it very closely, you would not know that. So it's Dirty Secret from here on out, even though I have it labeled up here as My Stepbrother's Dirty Secret. I feel very official with this board and this little pointer finger. I'm feeling very good about this. I'm going to go in the order in which I received these ads because that was the order that the app reelshorts wanted for me. They wanted me to see these ads in this order. So let's piece together the story from the snippets that they give in their ads and figure out what the hell is happening in My Stepbrother's Dirty Secret. Shall we? Each little ad starts out with a preview of what this little ad is about to show us.
I think I just kissed my stepbrother.
We then are vaulted into a party. We don't know who any of these people are, but I have seen all of the ads already because I am from the future, so I have labeled all of them for you right here. So the girl in the red dress, her name is Alice, and she went to the party with a guy named David. David is the guy with the glasses, okay guys? And also, she is playing eye tag from across the room with a guy. And you may be like, who is this guy? Watch this, 1, 2, 3, James. James is this guy. And you might see a little something poking out of this picture right here. You're gonna find out what that is later. But he is here at the party with a girl named Kim. Ginger, like me, but I am not Kim, I'm Sydney Rigatoni. Okay? But considering that the story is called My Stepbrother's Dirty Secret, we can allude to the fact that these people are probably related, right? Because they keep staring at each other, and why would she go to a party with her stepbrother? That's weird. That's weird, right, you guys? We'd much rather not go with our step sibling because taking your sibling as a date is weird. Inherently. We see David get Alice a drink, and Alice is like,
"Oh, do you want to show me how to drink this?"
And he freaking guzzles that shit down her throat. But unfortunately, we get a little flashback scene, and you would not believe what we saw. We saw David and Kim working together to drug her drink, Alice's drink, and he tries to take advantage of her. All of this is terribly illegal, so trigger warning for SA and all of this kind of creepy, nasty stuff. I'm not going to include a whole lot of it because frankly, nobody wants to watch that. But David takes Alice into the party's like basement or something and is trying to do things. And he is yelling profanities at her. He's being rude. He is calling her a virgin, which isn't a bad thing, but he's yelling at her like it's a slur.
Because they said you were a virgin.
This pervert was about to do some freaky shit until James breaks down the door and saves, what's her name? Alice from getting SA'd by David, the pervert. And now that we know that David is a pervert, we don't really want to look at his face, so I'm going to put a sticky note over it. And now we don't have to look at his face. And right as James comes in to save her, he pulls David off, obviously. Alice was screaming no. We were getting these nasty perverted angles, predatory angles, shit I did not want to see. And James was able to come in and break up whatever was happening. But whenever Alice mentions,
Oh, I don't feel so good.
James goes, you drugged her. You drugged her. I know you did. So James beats David to the floor, literally kick, punch, blood out of the mouth. Everything. And it's pretty good. We want to see more of that. We want to see more of that. But it wasn't just a little pummel. He then proceeded to take his hand, stick it down this guy's pants, and like shove something in his mouth. I don't know what he took out. His balls, some puebes. Like, I don't know what he took out of them pants and shoved in his mouth. But for some reason, David didn't look that appalled whenever it happened. So I don't know what that was, guys, but I'm scared. So to make sure that David never strikes again with Alice, he takes a picture of him beaten up on the floor and he's like, I'm gonna send this to your dad, and you know what, you have to transfer out of the school or else I'm gonna send this picture to your dad. And my thing is like, what would that do except show, oh my god, somebody just beat the fuck out of my son? Like, it doesn't show what he did, you know what I mean? So that was kind of an empty threat in my opinion, in my humble opinion, but that's okay because I guess it worked. Ever since this party, David is never to be seen again. And once James carries Alice out of this party, he is holding her like a freaking hero, and they somehow end up horizontal on his car hood, and she is like begging him to touch her, and it is really weird. It is really weird. Why are we doing that? Let's find out. I'm not gonna ask because these people obviously are not normal people. I don't want to talk to them at all. After she asks him, he's like, no, you're my stepsis. I can't do that. You're my stepsis. You simply can't do that. It's crazy. But I feel like that's like the least of your worries right now. She is literally probably drunk, and number two, literally drugged. They drugged her already. So if you were to do anything with her, that makes you a villain and illegal, and you're going to jail. End of story. Doesn't matter what the girl says. That's what I believe. And she's like, I don't care, step bro, step sis. Let's skip the formalities and get to the juicy bits. I want it now. I want it now. And the only way that he can get her into the car.
Okay, fine. You win.
Girl, what is wrong with you? 100% what is wrong with you? Because drugs don't make you incestuous. And I don't care.
Oh, we're not actually blood related. We're not actually blood related.
I'll wait. You're sick in the head. If you guys have the same parents, you are not supposed to do anything with each other. Does not matter. Does not matter. It does not matter. No. No. So he takes her out of the parking lot and he gets her to the shower, and he's like, take a cold shower and rinse all of that off. And once you're rinsed, once that cold water hits your flesh, you're not going to be drugged anymore, queen. So get in the shower. And guys, where's the logic in that? Since when was a cold shower a solution for being drugged? It's like whenever you were in PE and the teachers were like, walk it off, and you literally just broke your leg. Like you twisted your ankle. There's like bone sticking out of your leg, and they're like, walk it off, girl.
No.
And she is literally on the floor of the shower, and she's like,
Get it off.
and so he goes in to help her take off the dress, and he obviously does not look like he wants to be participating in this at all. Until, for some reason, a switch flips in his head, and he's like, you know, the way I'm gonna get her to get this cold shower is by making out with her, start to go down on her, and literally he flicks on the cold water with his foot. That was really uncomfortable for me to watch. Is anybody else like weirded out by step sibling stuff, or am I crazy? And as soon as that cold water hits her shoulder, she's like, what? Did I just kiss my stepbrother? Come back. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Also, where the fuck did his shirt go? Like, just randomly cut between scenes, he's just no longer wearing a shirt. When did that happen? And as they were agreeing, let's not tell anyone what just happened, because that was not true to our relationship. That was not true to our character. His dad freaking pounding on the door. He's like, let me in. And obviously he can't find out that they were just freaking making out in the shower together, because that is a crazy sentence to say out loud too. So the dad comes in, James picks up Alice. Oh, whose hand is gripping around the shower curtain? Whose hand is that? So that whenever the dad looks into the bathtub, because was he expecting he was going to do that? I don't know. He would not see Alice's feet sticking out, but as if it doesn't really seem like the dad cares anyway. Also, another thing, don't they live in a freaking mansion? Why the hell are they only using one bathroom? The only thing that the dad went in there to say was like, be nice to your new stepmother and stepsister, please. Like, girl, you couldn't have waited until he was outside of the shower and used one of the other 69 million bathrooms in your damn house. Anyway, as he's holding her, my question is, I'm so sorry, I'm going on a separate tangent. Why is the shower curtain so short that you can see both of their feet at the same time? I would say that is contrary to normal, and even if that was like a thing, water would be getting outside the shower because it's not blocking. Also, like, imagine you're sitting in the bathtub, you close the curtain, and someone can see there's like a sliver of field of view, and it's literally like just like nipples or something. Like, I'm just saying, like, that can't be right. And as he's holding her, he's talking to his dad, and she starts slipping, and he goes to pick her up, and he's fucking bouncing her on his on his freaking cob, bro. I'm actually gonna cry. Like, this shit's so nasty. I don't want to see this ever again. And the giggles. And my thing is that Alice looks like she's about to laugh. This actress looks like she's about to break character from this really awkward thing. It probably wasn't even scripted. This pervert just wanted to do it. Anyways, as the dad exits, you can see her foot sticking out the shower anyway. So there was really no point in them doing that, because if he was seriously going to get them in trouble, they would have got their ass caught. But the dad didn't give a shit either way. So, that was the first ad. In the second ad, we start off at a completely different part. Where's my pointer? Alice is now in the pool, topless, being bullied by two chads. James runs up and then dumps them into the pool. We get vaulted into the main storyline once again. The place that this ad starts is actually, I believe, before they even knew each other. So Alice is walking by her teacher's classroom, takes a look in, and sees James with the teacher. I have this little picture printed, and I'm gonna put this at the beginning of the storyline, because that's where I know it is. I know that it's right at the beginning, because at this point, they don't know each other. And you wanna know how I know that they don't know each other? Because as soon as Alice sees this whole thing with James and the teacher happening, she drops her book, and the sound was very loud, and it immediately alerted James and the teacher to stop whatever they were doing, and James ran out to investigate, and Alice was freaking running for her life, and James was chasing right after her, and as soon as he caught up to her, he pinned her to the wall. And remember, please, they don't even know each other at this point. Why does he feel so comfortable pinning people to the wall? Why the fuck does he feel so comfortable getting this close to people that he doesn't even know? James is perverted. It's strange. Strangely enough, the writer tries to make it seem like James is pinning her down, not because of him getting caught, because he likes her, by throwing in this weird line.
And what are you doing this for?
Unrelated.
That's unrelated, he says, which is actually a double entendre if you think about it, because they are not actually related by blood. It also means that the reason that he pinned her to the wall was not related to this, but because maybe he likey? Or maybe I am just thinking too much about it, and it actually doesn't matter, and it doesn't mean anything, and it never comes up ever again.
You know you still smell like Miss Keene's perfume. Yeah, I take a cold shower and get that off before anyone else catches on.
And get that, another mention of a cold shower. Do you want to know why I think this is strange? Because Alice was told to take a cold shower whenever she got drugged, and that saved everything. So why is a cold shower now going to wash off Mrs. Keene's perfume? I don't know. Because think about it, any temperature shower could wash off perfume. And this isn't a profound thought, it is just an observation. Of course a shower, any temperature, could wash off perfume scent. And after the school day, Alice leaves her freaking medieval mansion and goes out to the car where we meet Alice's mom. Who the hell? And I'm not trying to be rude, but the costuming for Alice's mom is literally crazy. She looks like a crazy person. She looks like she's pretending to be rich, like she went to a costume store and bought rich people things. So she has this fucking funeral hair piece on and an all black outfit with like some weird stripes on it, and her jewelry and her lipstick. I'm sorry, girl, it's just not giving richness. You know what would give richness is a little bob with it straight and curled in on the edges, and then headband, and if she wore flats and maybe a little, you know, midi skirt. I'm going too deep into this. Really doesn't matter. She just doesn't look bouginess. She looks like fakey McBakey. But I don't think this is a mistake, because her whole thing, Alice's mom's whole thing, is that she is now marrying into richness McGee, which is Mr. Hawthorne, and he is very rich. I don't know how rich, but we're supposed to think that this guy is the richest of all.
You must be Alice. Come on in, sweetheart. Welcome to your new home.
So I guess this makes Alice's mom kind of a gold digger, because Alice's dad actually just died. Like, I don't know how recently, but they were just like, oh my god, your dad just died and left me with your slobby ass daughter.
Now he's dead. And of course, I have to teach his useless slob of a daughter how to tell time.
We have to have at least one villain in every single story, and it has to have one person from at least a family. That's usually how it goes. There has to be one mean relative, and then there has to be like some bullies at school. That's just how these storylines go. They finally make it to Mr. Hawthorne's house, and Alice finally meets Mr. Hawthorne. And instead of being like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Alice, thank you for letting us stay with you, she is silent. She has nothing to say to this man, and I'm not going to blame her. She is now misplaced. Her mom is forcing her to relocate. You know, she just lost her dad. I am completely understanding to that, but this man has been nothing but kind. There has been no mean. Mr. Hawthorne is not mean. So I was kind of, you know, weirded out by this interaction, but I'm gonna let it slide just this once. But instead of her mom just being like, hey, like, say something, her mom freaking flicks her in the head, and then she's like, thank him for saving us from the slums. The slums? Can we rewind? That is supposed to be the slums? Do you guys remember what I said? A medieval freaking mansion. Dude, that place was huge. It was beautiful, architecturally sound. It was made out of brick. Dude, I would dream to own a house like that, but I never will, because we live in 2025. And you're not supposed to own a house until you're 100 years old now. Alice then is like, I'm feeling a little bit awkward, so she just runs off to the bathroom. And of course, the second that she knocks on this bathroom door and goes to open it, who is standing there? Mr. Nipple himself. James is standing there, because you want to know who James is? Mr. Hawthorne's son. They are now related, which is not a big revelation because we actually covered that they were step siblings in the last ad. Is that okay, everyone?
Cold shower. Just like you asked.
Ew. Cold shower reference. They then all sit down to eat dinner together, and Alice just drops this insane bomb at the dinner table, which was absolutely unnecessary.
At least I'm not my teacher for grades. Apparently some kids.
The story then flashes forward to them being in class, and James has a freaking flock of people surrounding him. James is picking on her, his little ginger friend is picking on her, and everybody is just ganging up on her for literally no reason. Even the white person with cornrows in their hair, like they're one to talk, but I did not notice that whenever I originally watched it, because all I could see was that girl with the chartreuse hair at the very front just serving.
The person with the chartreuse hair is actually serving.
She was not participating in this drama whatsoever, so she has now officially become my stepbrother's dirty secret bias. And then we meet this diva, Kim, officially. We saw her at the party. We saw her drug Alice's drink. We know what she's capable of. We get her official introduction as somebody who was like a groupie to James, because she was like Unis on him in the classroom. Miss Anna Elsa Frozen Girl starts bullying Alice about her dad, unprovoked. What did your dad do for work? You fucking stink like his stinky ass job.
Ew, you stink.
Like, girl, What did she do to you? Is my question. And obviously Alice is triggered by these comments because Alice's dad is taking an eternal nap. So that is quite rude. That is quite ridiculous for her to be doing all of this. But I digress.
At least my dad taught me manners.
My dad taught me manners. Mind you, she was literally sat at the dinner table and swore about having sex with teachers.
At least I'm not my teacher for grades.
What about that is manners, queen? And I'm not saying that she wasn't speaking the truth whenever it happened, but swearing at the dinner table around people that I've never met and are now a part of my family, you could never catch me doing that. Never catch me doing that. But before this comic book villain, she raises her arm like she's about to freaking swing on her. James walks up and he breaks up the tension. James is always there to break up the tension, as we saw from earlier. But my question is not what is wrong with her. My question is not why does he have Ken and Barbie senses. My question is, where is your guys' teacher and why are you guys able to swing on each other in class, not sit in your seats, and we're not doing schoolwork? I don't know why anyone would be in class optionally and just chit chat whenever they could just leave. So the class is probably in session. So my thing is, what is the teacher doing? Is the teacher sleeping? Is the teacher taking an eternal nap? I don't know. Also, isn't this private school? Shouldn't like the learning part be the most important part of this? Anyways, the pervert, David, comes up to Alice and he's like, hey guys, don't pick on the new girl. She's pretty cool. I don't know her, but she's cool and I got her back. So y'all back up. And they do. And once he asks her to the dance, James is offended. Kim looks a little bit offended, but Alice still accepts because she wants them to get a taste of their own medicine. Be like, yeah, I still pull bitches and look at you guys bullying me for no reason and I'm still cooler than all of you. Watch me go. And this context of David inviting Alice to the party later that evening helps us understand that David and Kim have been planning this shit from the start. Kim started stuff with Alex so that David could step in, seem like a hero, invite Alice to the party. They could both drug her and, I don't know, SA her, and then where does that go after that? I don't know. These people are just looking for trouble. They just want to be evil and mess up everything for no reason. As she gets ready for the party, she's looking in the mirror. She's like, okay, I'm kind of serving, I'm kind of slaying. James walks up and he's like, you look like a slut. Fucking asshole for no reason. He is just evil sometimes. I don't know. Everybody in this story is just a little bit evil sometimes. And he finds a reason to pin her to the wall again. These people will always find a reason to throw that into the plot. They always will. Don't undermine it. It will happen. And James tries to, I don't know, seduce her into going to the party with him. Even though she's already accepted an invitation from David, he tries anyway. I don't know why he would do that. I don't know where that would go.
Why not go with me?
But she yoinks him a little bit closer and proves that he does have a little bit of boundaries from this little incest bond that they're trying to form right now. Why am I still watching this? What am I doing? We then go to the party and David sees her. He's like, ooh, baby.
Baby.
And he immediately goes to fetch her a drink, and we already know where this goes. So the rest of the ad is just telling us what we already know. So now that we have this established as the first part of the storyline, then we can officially put the party scene right about there. We know what's after. We don't know if everything in between is filled out. We don't know if everything after is filled out, but we know that this comes first and this comes later, and that's all we know from the second ad. I was excited to get a little bit of context of why maybe she was naked in a pool. I don't know. But obviously, the ad did not show any context to why she was topless in the pool in the first place, who those chads were, why we were in that situation to begin with. But regardless, I'm glad we got the context that we did, to be fair. Next ad. Unfortunately, I did take off my headband. I know it fit the little outfit that I've got going on, but unfortunately it was hurting my head and I wanted it off, so now I'm no longer wearing it. So this next ad starts off, where's my pointer? In this next ad, we start off underwater for some reason, and James and Alice are kissing. What? They're kissing underwater, and it's another pool party. They're at another party and it has a pool. So they have been in a pool twice in the past 3 ads. Why is there so many pools? I don't know. And as soon as she comes up for air, her inner monologue declares that she wants him.
Anymore if he's my stepbrother. I just want him.
Save me, save me, save me, save me. I'm gonna be real, I don't understand the dynamic of this relationship at all. Like what, you're just gonna date your stepbrother? Are your parents okay with that? Are both of you okay with that? I'm not sure. And even if all four of you were okay with that, the rest of the world is not okay with that because that is still incestuous. We then go through the hallway scene again where Alice catches him in the hallway, teacher, yada yada yada. We know they saw. We go all the way until the dinner scene.
Alice, language.
We remember how the dinner scene goes. She blurts out that crazy thing, but instead of going straight to school, we actually go to Alice's bedroom, and we can see James is going through her school notebook as Alice is just leaving the shower. Even though her hair is not wet, I do not know why she's patting it with a towel. She definitely has like curls in her hair or a blowout or something. But all of the doodles in her notebook let James know that she does not actually pay attention in class. So she does not have good grades. And he offers to strike up a deal. He said, if you keep my secret about me effing the teacher, I will help you with school, because her notes looked crazy. And she's like, okay. And he's like, or else. And then she's like, or else what?
You're gonna whip me with a $100 bill?
What are you gonna do? Slap me with an $100 bill?
She thought that was a really good comeback, and girl, love you. No, though. I'm confused how he's supposed to help her with school if the reason that he has good grades is because he sleeps with his teacher. Like, what exactly are you going to be able to help her with? If you were good at school, wouldn't you not be sleeping with the teacher unless you just genuinely have a crush on the teacher? Then maybe that just wouldn't be an issue for you to deal with in the first place. But also, why does she have a crush on him if he is sleeping with the teacher? Like, there's no room for you, girl. I'm sorry. I don't know. None of this makes sense, and I'm just sounding weird. And instead of being like, or else I'm gonna beat your ass, he runs at her, freaking grabs her waist like this. 1, 2, 3. And he throws her onto her bed. Mind you, she is moaning, groaning, and breathing extremely heavily while all of this is happening. It's seeming a little bit provocative at this moment in time. He then waves her vibrator in front of her face. And it was, oh my God, so disturbing. Why is your stepbrother pinning you down and waving your vibrator in front of your face? And she tries to be like, power move. And she's like, spreads her legs open. And she's like, do it. I don't believe you.
I'm calling your bluff.
Girl, what is wrong with you? There is something wrong with you. You are mentally deranged. You are mentally ill. This is sick. And for some reason, he gets pissed off by her. And this pisses him off, so he's ready to give up. And so he puts on the vibrator and then looks at her and looks at her chesticles.
What is that?
And bro, what is that juice on your chest? What is that juice on your chest, girl?
Don't look at me like that. Or next time I'm putting that toy somewhere else.
Putting it where? Putting it where? Putting it where? And instead of her being like, that was kind of a weird situation I was just in with my stepbrother, she fucking grabs her vibrator and is having thoughts about him. And I don't even have to tell you what she does, because you guys know what happens whenever you think about someone you think is hot and you are holding a vibrator at the same time. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Let's move on. The next day, she goes to leave for school and the dad is like, oh, like, let James help you out. If you have any questions, go to him. This guy's being super nice, even though I don't know why he isn't offering any help himself. Like, he could definitely drive, he could definitely answer any of the questions that she has, but that's okay, whatever. Regardless, Alice goes out to get carpooled to school by James, but James is like, you think that my dad controls me? No way, I am not taking you to school. So he freaking waves her vibrator around, and that's what that is. Remember how I mentioned that you would find out what that is later? That's what that is. That's what that is. I cropped it out perfectly because whenever I sent it to Walgreens, I didn't want them to look at it and be like, why is she printing out a picture of a man with a vibrator? I mean, this picture was bad enough, so I didn't want to make it any worse. And not to mention the pictures I have printed for the next one I have to talk about. They're probably thinking that I'm a pervert. But while he's waving around her vibrator, he said, keep my secret or else I will tell everybody that you are a virgin and you use a vibrator for virgins. And I'm like, my thing is he has 0 legs to stand on. 1, 2, 3, whose secret is worse? Who would be embarrassed about being a virgin? I'm so confused why that is like a huge secret that is being held over her head. Regardless, she complies. Why is being a virgin these days worse than being an axe murderer? It's giving gamer. It's giving being a gamer. Okay, so we go back to school again. We see the whole school sequence. We see the whole party sequence again. But they keep adding stuff to the beginning like it's a prequel. We keep getting more information on this party scene every single ad we're getting. So it's really interesting to see how the storyline really all adds up. The last 14 minutes of this ad that I'm talking about were literally just the party and everything that we've already seen. So let's move on to the next ad. And this ad is the last ad I've gotten about this story in general. So I'm assuming all of the ads for this storyline have been used on me, meaning I have seen all of them because I haven't seen any in days. And I compiled these and watched these a few days ago. So I think I've seen all of them from this storyline. And this one is only 3 minutes long. So this one is completely a different context than the rest of these ads that we've seen so far. It starts off with James wearing lace-up little booty shorts. And he is kind of following Alice down the hallway. And he's like, I'm gonna tell him that I'm your stepbrother. And he's like, no, wait, you don't want that. You have a big lesbian crush on me. He's in lesbian with her. She's in lesbian with him. But I want to use my context clues for this little scene right here. Because as you guys can see, James is shirtless right now, wearing only these little lace-up booty shorts. And look what Alice is wearing. His shirt from the scene where she was topless in the pool whenever she was getting bullied by those chads. So my brain is piecing together the plot right now as we speak. So way after the party, we're down here at this point. These bullies dunked her in the pool, no shirt, right? James saved her. He then gave her his shirt, and now that's what she's wearing, and that was the situation afterward. But as James is walking off, she's kind of like, wait, maybe I do have a crush on my stepbrother, lol. Is that my new thing? Is this my new man crush Monday, my stepbrother? God, I mean, there is no way. Bad Alice. And she goes to the locker room and changes back into her school uniform. And once she's done that, guess who's waiting for her right behind her? It is Kim. Kim and her goons. I don't know their names. I don't want to know their names because they are irrelevant. And I feel like they change every scene if I'm being honest. And from the dialogue that they have in this scene, it seems that Kim is a little bit responsible for what happened with her being topless in the pool earlier in the other ad.
Scared we'll see your tits again?
Wait, when did you guys see her tits? Kim and her goons pin Alice against her locker and start threatening her. Super cool. They even begin torturing her like she's in freaking prison. They're tearing her shirt apart and they're having a freaking flame to her chest.
Teach her some manners, okay?
Okay? Who's MK? Is that one of your friends? Who is MK? And why did she say it like that? That was really strange. I don't even know.
Okay.
But once that flame gets close to her chest, she immediately gets some strength to push away from all of these girls. And before she could even make it 3 steps, she immediately falls to the floor. They pin her up to the wall again. And this time, Kim is not playing around. She pulls out a box cutter and holds a box cutter to her face. And she's like, let's see if James likes you after I don't know, mangle your face with this box cutter. And before Kim could do any dirty work, James, the freaking stallion, kicks down the door again. You guys know he is a door kicker. He will kick that door open. His Barbie senses were tingling and he knew that Alice was in trouble. He is there to save the day every damn time without a chance. Without a chance. But unfortunately, to our story building moment, this feels entirely isolated from everything that has happened in the story. Maybe the story is just choppy like that. I don't know. But in all honesty, it seems like we have no context to why Kim is acting like this in the first place, why she hates her so much. Is it because she's in love with James? That's okay. If he likes you, he'll pick you. Why are we killing someone? Why are we putting a box cutter to someone? I'm not sure I understand. Okay, girl? And frankly, I don't care because we know how these stories go usually? Let me guess. Her parents? These parents don't stay together because she's an asshole. She ends up with James. She ends up kicking rocks. David ends up kicking rocks. This teacher ends up getting freaking fired. I don't know. I don't care. But we just know he had a dirty little secret, and James saved her at the freaking party, saved her at the freaking pool, and saved her every single time. And I think that we should rename this story to I'm My Stepbrother's Dirty Secret, because you know what's worse than sleeping with your teacher? Sleeping with your sibling. End of discussion. Next. Okay, everyone, before we get into the next ad, let's take a quick cheers. Cheers. So the next ad series is actually not from the same app, reelshorts. I actually don't even know which one this is from. Maybe like drama short, like, girl, I don't know. I didn't download any of the apps. I just watched the ads. But they definitely have the same format, so don't fret. It's going to be the same kind of experience, except hopefully no incest this time. This series is called A Deal with the Hockey Captain. A Deal with the Hockey Captain. Okay? And the first ad I got was this girl. Her name is Dora. And she was asking this guy, Troy, advice on which underwear she should pick. Don't know what the context is. We don't have any context for why she's even asking this question. And get this. She goes, here you go. Hold them. See which one is better for me. And he immediately gets hard.
Shit, I'm getting hard. Dude, not in front of her. Fuck.
Sure hope they're not step siblings. I love it here. And bro, I love this water drop sound effect they keep using. It's so funny. I love it. And I think I should start using it in my videos now too, because it's just so funny. The story then goes into a flashback scene 3 days prior to him getting a boner for her.
Shit, I'm getting hard.
And in the scene, Dora bumps into Troy in the locker room, I guess. I don't know, a shower room. And once they bump into each other, his towel falls and his lala is on her. Dora immediately looks mortified. And this face that she makes is insane. She is absolutely disgusted. She looks like she's sick. But the reason is not because his lala is on her. The reason is actually because her crush, Leo, found out that she is a virgin, and the whole school thinks it's a huge joke. Guys, we know how funny being a virgin is now because of these ads. We are just finding this out. So guys, let's laugh about it. This outing of her being a virgin to her crush causes Mindy, the bully, the popular bully, to pick on Dora. And we come to find out that Mindy is also Troy's ex-girlfriend.
Goodbye, ex-boyfriend.
So while she's trying to get to Dora, while they're in the shower room, Troy defends Dora by being like, hey, nobody's in here. Don't try to come in further. This place is not filled with any virgins. And you would know that, wouldn't you, darling? Wink. Because they're exes. So I don't need to explain that.
No virgins here.
Once Troy gets Mindy to go away, he asks Dora to do him a favor, which is there's been some wire transfers to his bank account, and he's afraid that if people find out that some random person is sending him money, it's going to look like he's throwing the hockey games, and that obviously would get him disqualified and F up his career. So he's like, I need you to get to the bottom of who is sending me money, and I will help you get to fifth base with Leo. Dora is just as confused as I am.
Fifth base? I thought it was fourth.
Fifth base? Who is fifth base? I've never met a fifth base. I thought there was 4 bases. Hugging. Also, this stance that he has going on, it's why I use this picture, is actually killing me, because I really do enjoy how every single smut writer loves the pinning on the wall scene or like the arm above the door frame, but for him it's a lot less disgusting and freaky like the stepbrother from before. He's being kind of nonchalant, just holding his arm up in the air, but we do get a whole lot of armpit. Dora's request for the glow up to get to fifth base with Leo is flirting, fashion, and technique. These are the 3 things that she wants to have perfected by the time that she makes it to, I don't know, get a chance to win Leo's heart. Is that how you spell technique? Ziggy, how do you spell technique?
Technique is spelled T-E-C-H-N-I-Q-U-E.
There we go. So these are the 3 steps to get Leo to fall in love with her. Now we cut to the next scene and we see Troy's cousins coming in to Dora's dorm, I assume, to give her a makeover. So that means that we're already at phase 2 of her plan. We haven't learned how to flirt and we haven't learned any technique. We are currently at the fashion stage, okay? And him giving her this glow up scene and him getting his cousins to get involved is actually the nicest thing I've ever seen. And he is so cutie booty 1, 2, 3 and I want him. But we don't even get to see the makeover scene before we transition into her getting out of a car. Dora getting out of a car and entering the school dance. I don't know what the school dance is, and I'm assuming that they're in college because they all kind of live in the same building. So I'm not sure what this dance is or why there's only 2 people there, but there's a freaking red carpet and Dora steps out of the car and she immediately gets some really good recognition from one of our favorite side characters.
Damn, who's that hot hottie?
What did he just say? Who is that hot hottie? Wait.
Damn, who's that hot hottie?
Who is that hot hottie? I'm obsessed. Imagine being in a show and you're cast to only do 1 line and that is your 1 line.
Who's that hot hottie?
And they didn't even give you a second take. It was just the 1 take and that is all. Or even worse, imagine that was the second take.
Hot hottie.
At this dance, Dora starts dancing with her crush, Leo. And while they dance, Leo asks Dora on a real date. A date at a fancy dinner.
No. Like a proper dinner. Like a date.
And Dora's really excited, but Troy is upset. He's like, he's never gonna treat her as good as I will. And I'm like, okay, so why the hell did you help her get a date with him?
He's never gonna appreciate her the way I do.
What are you doing, sir? Go get your girl. After seeing Leo ask Dora on a date and Troy being upset that Dora got the date, Mindy is like, why is Dora, this ugly freak, getting attention from the hottest guys in the school? I need all the attention on me. So one of her freak ass friends suggests that they drug Dora.
These could work. All you need is 10 seconds. Perfect.
That girl is insane.
Just 10 seconds.
What is wrong with her? And as you can see, the bottle is already half empty, so it looks like she's already had 6 other victims. I'm concerned about this girl.
And guys, not every story needs a drugging moment. I'll be the one to say it. Why do we need a drugging moment? Let's stop with the drugging, okay? So we see Mindy spike one of the drinks, and Mindy brings the drinks over to Dora, and she's like, here you go, like, I want to make amends with you. And Dora isn't really buying it. She's like, nah, I'm good. And then Troy comes over, and he's like, no, let's have one of these drinks. And while Mindy isn't looking, he swaps the cherry. There is 1 cherry in one of the drinks. He puts it in the other drink. And this confuses Mindy. She's like, okay, so I don't really know which one is spiked anymore. So I remember putting the red cherry in the drink that is spiked. So Mindy gives Dora the drink that isn't spiked. And they both take a sip. They're like, and before they even speak again, Mindy gets so excited to alert the entire dance. Guys, come over here. You're about to see Dora make an absolute fool of herself. Guys, gather round, and her friends are counting down behind her. Terribly, might I add.
Well, 6, 5, 4. Come on, a little closer. Trust me, you will not regret what you are about to witness. 3, 2, 1.
They were counting the same numbers over and over again. I know you heard that. It was like 6, 6, 5, 6, 3, 4, 6.
Right as they think Dora's about to fall to her demise, Mindy shits herself on the dance floor. Everyone is taking pictures. Everybody is laughing at her. It is humiliating. And she's like, guys, stop taking pictures. Girl, that's what you wanted to happen to Dora. So don't expect the same grace to be had for you. These people do not care about who it is that they're making fun of, obviously. We then cut to after the dance, and Dora tells Troy about how she got a date with Leo. And they're like, okay, let's go over the technique portion of my glow up. And Troy seems kind of out of it. He doesn't really want to help her. He doesn't seem interested in talking about it. He's like, ugh, like shrugging it off, right?
I don't know all that much, to be honest.
And I'm like, are you getting jealous, perchance? And the next part right here is where he gets handed the panties.
Oh shit, I'm getting hard.
And she is picking out the underwear that she wants to wear on her date with Leo. Now we understand what happened in the storyline, okay? So once they decide on which underwear she should wear, and mind you, Troy is rock solid after this interaction. Dora's then like, I need you to teach me how to kiss before my big date. Please teach me how. And Troy is like, oh, hell yeah, girl. So he stands right up and he's like, well, watch this, girl. And he, strangely enough, just gives her like a play-by-play on how to get the moment right, which is kind of irrelevant.
Offer you my jacket.
And after that, they lock it. They are locking lips like it's a freaking party on my mouth tongue. He picked her up. He even pushed her back into the bookshelf. Oh, the Book Talk girls are gonna love this one. And he obviously started to get a little bit carried away. He got a little bit too excited about going this far with Dora. And he's also like, you're into Leo. Let's not make it any more complicated than it needs to be. I'm done doing all this shit, okay? Dora goes on her date with Leo. And on the date, it goes terribly. All Leo talks about is himself. He even says the only thing that I like about you is that you like watching me and that you like me.
You've seen me play.
I have.
You know, that's what I like about you.
And mind you, while he was talking about himself, all Dora could think about was Troy. Is he upset with her? Was he in love with her? Why did he get so upset? Why did he push her away after they kissed? After Dora regains consciousness after thinking about Troy, Leo says, let's fuck. Huh?
And that's why we should fuck.
What?
Yeah, there's something. Okay, so he's obsessed with himself. That's the plotline.
Girl, we didn't even eat our food yet. After he says that, Dora is immediately like, yeah, I don't think we're good for each other. And she tries to call off the date with him. She explains to him like, hey, I think I have feelings for someone else. Also, like, this isn't really like what I wanted. Like, this is not what I thought this would be like.
We're better off as friends.
No, we should fuck.
Leo's like, oh my God, but think about all of the times that we've interacted and how much you like me. He's really trying to manipulate the situation so that he can get what he wants. But Dora's not buying it for a single second. So she's like, you know what? I'm good. She picks up and she leaves the date. Meanwhile, Dora is on her date. Troy is back in the dorm, maybe like a commons area, watching TV. And Mindy walks in and she tries to seduce him into sleeping with her. She even mentions how the first time that they even spoke, the first thing that she said to him was something nasty.
Remember what I said to you when we first met at that sophomore swim meet?
Is that a bike seat in your Speedo?
Or are you just looking for a ride?
Why would anyone ever say that as a pickup line? Hey, your junk looks large. Can I get on that? Can I get on it?
But Troy is a perfect gentleman and he turns it down right away and we love it. We love it so much. And as Dora is going home, Leo texts someone saying, end her. And we're like, end her? Like, is Mindy about to ruin her reputation? Like, what is Mindy about to do? But before we could even think that for a singular second, this man, comes storming behind Dora. Dora's like, oh my God, I need somebody to help me. So she calls Leo and she's like, hey, I think that there's a man following me. Can you come and help me? Like, help me get out of the situation. And he's like, that's gonna leave a bruise. Because obviously these two are connected in some way. He texted end her to him and he's now following her and he's gonna be her bottom dollar. So as this mystery man goes to pin down Dora, Troy bursts in and saves the freaking day. Troy fights him back, he punches him, he gets him, but he does get a huge gash in his t-shirt. I don't know if it was like, it looked like a burn, it looked like a scratch. I don't know what even happened. It was this guy's freaky deaky little ring that he had on. This guy even pulls out a gun on Dora and Troy. Once we get back to Troy's dorm, Dora starts patching him up by sticking a piece of cotton to his chest. And he is just being an angel magic. Guys, am I obsessed with him? I think so. So click on it. In the next ad, it starts the same exact way with the underwear scene getting hard. Yes, we already know that part. But then we cut back to a different scene where Mindy is bullying Dora as she is dressed as her. And not only are they cosplaying Dora, they are also lip syncing, literally musically TikTok lip syncing to a video of Dora confessing and professing her love to Leo and saying, "You are the one that I want you to take my virginity." And this is humiliating to Dora. Like, imagine the hottest guy in school. He's not even that cute. The hottest guy in school hearing that you're a virgin and you want him to take your virginity. And the rest of the school knowing that too. I'm sorry. That is kind of humiliating.
And I want you to be the one to take my virginity before my 18th birthday next month.
And it doesn't just end there. Mindy proceeds to humiliate her further by taking her gum out, sticking it on her upper lip, and putting a mustache on her.
Why is she letting her do that?
Please, stop.
Girl, you could have walked away by now.
And don't worry, it gets worse. She begins decorating her with the nastiest shit she could find. A bowl on her head, some dildos on it, and they begin to even spray her down with some jizz-like substance. And this grown-ass adult man is making fun of her too. Who is that? And why is he 35? And it's not just Mindy and her gang and that 35-year-old man making fun of Dora. It is also Leo.
Effects. Leo's laughing too! That asshole.
He is also there making fun of her. So we know that Leo's not a good guy. Well, I'm sure we got that earlier after he tried to get her assassinated. I don't know. And before they were done with their torture, they wanted to hear Dora say it one more time.
Say, take my virginity.
Say it.
Say it.
What is actually wrong with that girl? That girl is, like, not okay.
And before she mutters the words, Troy bursts in like a freaking savior, and he's like, "You better stop it." And he breaks up everybody. Everybody's like, whoa, Troy's here? Oh, we better stop. And they all stop. And Troy takes Dora away from the whole situation, from all those freaky little perverts. Troy comforts Dora with a pillow and some conveniently placed toilet paper. Not sure what that means, Troy. And his advice for Dora is, you know what? Don't let her treat you like that. Next time she gives you trouble, just punch back. I don't know. Dora then says, I need another flirting lesson. Another, meaning that she's had one before this. So this is not the first flirting lesson. And his flirting lesson of the day, guys, take notes, is eye contact, touching, and complimenting the person that you're flirting with. And she tries it on him.
You smell so good. What is that? Just makes me want to get closer. Shit actually works.
Wow. Student become master.
Congratulations.
And he nearly falls for it. He's like, oh, Dora, you were just acting? They briefly mention the bank stuff, and he goes to get some information for her about if he has sent money to anybody recently, and we get a POV change. We're now from Leo's perspective, and we see Leo spying on Troy and Dora through like a hole or a camera in his bookshelf. And now that Leo knows that Dora is involved with helping him with the banking stuff, kind of peels back the curtain a little bit. And Leo's trying to get Troy to look like he's throwing matches. I don't know, maybe he's on an opposing team. I don't really know. It looks like they could be on the same team. Maybe he's trying to replace him as the captain of the hockey team. Deal with the hockey captain. Deal with the hockey captain. We get a quick teleport to the locker room of the hockey team, I guess. And Leo confronts Troy as he's speaking to another 35-year-old man. This man could be even older this time. I'm not trying to be rude. What is this place that we are? Where are we? And Leo is questioning Troy about why he's hanging out with Dora. What are his intentions? But we know what Leo's thinking, and we know what Troy is thinking. So it's kind of a crazy when worlds collide moment. Meanwhile, this interaction is happening. We're back at Dora's dorm, and once she's ready for the day, she leaves her dorm, and she walks out, and she sees Mindy and her goons again. And these girls mean business this time. After Troy told off Mindy, she has a vendetta. She is going to get Dora. I'm going to assume that this is in a common area in a dorm, because whenever I watched the first time, I was like, why the fuck did these girls break into Dora's house? But considering the fact that Dora was drinking on her date with Leo, and also the fact that they keep going into each other's rooms, I'm pretty sure that this is a college campus. So, write that down, everyone.
Going somewhere, geek girl?
Why are they in her house?
Anyways, what is up with these 3-to-1 girl fights? I'm not into it. I think that it's nasty, I think that it's dirty, and I think you guys should not be doing that. But Mindy and her hooligans start to tear apart Dora's outfit. They start to try to take pictures of her topless like perverts. And Dora does the only thing that she knows what to do, and it is to punch Mindy. You guys remember how Troy said, just punch back. She did. Dora rushes to Troy to get another dating lesson. She doesn't even mention anything about how she just decked Mindy in the face. But what they're going to talk about right now is what fifth base is. And guys, comment down below what you guys think fifth base is, because I don't know. And let's find out from Troy, my king, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Like 1 tear, 2 tears.
I'm going to ignore what he just said because he literally looks like a prince here. And I really wish that I didn't print out this picture of him with nipples and I just printed out this picture of him with the sweater because he looked so cute. I genuinely cannot believe I just did that. Like, I actually can't. Anyways, Mindy then burst in with the fucking police to get Dora in trouble for aggravated assault. Hello? You guys assaulted her. You were tearing off her clothes. That was self-defense. Call it. Call it. Gag 'em. Troy has a way with words, and he gets the police officer to, you know, root for the hockey team because he plays hockey. The police officer watches hockey. This is a perfect recipe for the cop to just leave him alone. And he does. The cop just leaves and is like,
It's nice to meet you.
It's a chill ass cop. They're like, hey.
You will go team.
Mindy, if you cause any more drama again, you will hear from me type shit. He didn't actually say that, but that look, I know what that meant. Once Dora gets back to her dorm after the confrontation with the police, she sees that her room has been completely trashed. And we already know, we don't even have to think about who did it. It was definitely Mindy. And Troy, the king he is, he's like,
I'm calling the cops.
And you're gonna stay with me tonight. And I'm not really sure what that's gonna do because the police aren't gonna clean your room, girl.
Bro, if somebody called the cops every time my room looked like that, bro, cops would be at my house every damn day.
And whenever she sleeps over, she takes the bed, Troy takes the floor, but he seems kind of uncomfortable, and Dora feels kind of guilty. He should probably get on the bed, shouldn't he? And he does, because she invites him. They end up sleeping next to each other all night, but they do put a pillow in between them, so nothing crazy happens. Oh, the pillow's gone. And do you want to know who put it on the floor? You betcha. She wants him. Subconsciously, she wants him. And whenever she wakes up, they're cuddling. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And while they're in bed, waking up in the morning, he kind of tries to plant a move on her. And I don't know why. I wasn't really feeling that one. I mean, I would have taken it. Dora is not into you like that. She likes Leo right now, okay? She completely dodges him. And she's like, okay, you know what? Before we can do anything else, let's just move into the fashion part of my transformation, okay? And once she leaves her room to go get dressed and ready for the day, she comes back to tell Troy that like, oh, like here's your t-shirt, or I'm gonna clean this for you, whatever. But while she's gone, Leo comes into the room and he's like, why are you hanging out with Dora so much? And then he starts dissing on Dora, like talking mad shit about her.
You gotta kick her to the curb, bro. Why are you so down on Dora?
Mind you, Dora is outside of the door. She can hear everything that he's saying, and he sounds like a fucking asshole. And Dora overhears this, and she's like, let me burst in there and make my presence known before he goes any further with this diss. And she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna bring your shirt back tomorrow. And Leo gets all up in freaking Dora's face and is like, he literally calls her desperate. Like,
are you that desperate to get laid?
but as soon as Leo gets those words out of his mouth, Troy decks him in the face. And I love the punching in this story. I love that all of the violence is on their end. Like, they're punching. They're the ones punching. I feel good about that. I feels right. And unfortunately, instead of Dora taking Troy's side for defending her, she's like, oh my God, now Leo thinks that I'm embarrassing and he thinks I'm a virgin loser. Girl, that has nothing to do with you or Troy. It has to do with him because he's an ass. You don't want him. I swear it, girl. She's not a real person, but I'll tell her it if she was. We then see Leo going to a building, and he goes to talk to this man with the red bow tie. You guys remember how he is the crazy guy who tried to kill Dora and Troy and literally slashed my boy Troy with his freaking finger ring like a freaking crazy pervert. But you can tell by their dynamic, Leo seems intimidated by him, and you can also kind of tell because this is a quick behind the scenes look, I'm guessing, is that they put this guy on a higher step on the staircase and Leo's looking up at him because he's higher in this whatever pyramid scheme is happening here. So Leo is just a humble servant to this man, and he is the reason that Leo is wiring money to him so that he looks like he's throwing games. So maybe this guy is just a huge hockey fan. I don't know. What is the motivation behind any of this? But their only interaction is just like, okay, I'm gonna keep sending him money. Okay, bye. We then see Troy bringing his cousins to give her the makeover. They dissect her closet and then they get her ready. We see a little bit more of the makeover scene this time. And then she ends up at the dance and we know what happens after that point. So let's now piece together the storyline. So we first have this bullying thing going on, right? This is the first thing chronologically that happens. So we get the Dora cosplay, the bullying, and these dating lessons are happening throughout the story. I'm not really going to label where each thing happens, except for after the bullying, we get the glow up. Let's place her look right here. This is Dora's new glow up look. We then go to the dance, where the shitsident occurs. And then we go on the dinner date where they get attacked and then more mafia shit happens. And I'm just going to assume that Dora and Troy end up together. Leo gets busted for his crimes and Mindy just goes away. Okay? That's how I think the story goes. All I have to say is, Troy, please call me. And Mindy and Leo, come here. You two, you will be getting fought by me for messing with my girl Dora. So watch your back, because I might be right behind you. Can I be honest with you? I think I'm gonna try to download at least one of these apps. I don't even know which one I would download. I don't even know which ones I was watching from, if I'm honest. But I want to at least give it a shot and watch a full complete series. But I will say, I'm really tired of the popular guy going after the nerdy girl, virgin girl, and the girl getting bullied by the guy's ex-girlfriend with the two best friends. I know it sounds really specific, but dude, it is overplayed. Think of any teen movie, even picture this, a movie I talked about on this channel had that trope. Mean Girls had it, and I'm sure 1,000 other little movies like this have had it too. Like, it's a good idea, I will give them that, but it is so overdone. And I want to see something different. So I hope moving forward that the plots get a little bit more complex in these stories, and maybe, I don't know, we bring in people of color. Just an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. Either way, if you were to ask me if I thought that vertical stories in movies were the future of filmmaking, I would tell you probably no. Not only because that would just never happen, but because at this moment in time, it is extremely underdeveloped. It seems like there's no established way for us to watch vertical movies and stories like in one place. But also there is a lot of importance in things that are not brain rot, because whether we like it or not, these kind of vertical stories are kind of brain rot. They're kind of second screen adjacent, the way that they repeat plot lines and have flashbacks of moments that we saw 5 seconds ago. They kind of really dumb it down, even though it's mainly adults watching this. Hopefully all adults watching this. No shame to anybody involved in the filming or creation process of these vertical videos because they are so enjoyable to watch, and Troy is still super gorgeous. So, and think about it this way, I would have never known that he existed unless these ads existed. So some good actually came from these ads. Thank you, vertical videos. I do though hope that this style of content will grow alongside mainstream media, and maybe it will develop into something bigger. Maybe they'll have like a video shorts vertical option on Netflix or something. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please tell me in the comments section and subscribe. Okay, I love you guys. Take care of yourself and take vitamin C, or else you're gonna catch the Sydney sick. Achoo. Achoo.